In a quiet village nestled deep within Nigeria, beneath the shelter of towering baobab trees and surrounded by lush mango groves, the elders gathered each evening to share stories. These stories, passed down from one generation to the next, were not just tales, they were lessons of love, wisdom, and resilience. On this particular evening, the air was warm, and the sky painted with streaks of orange and purple as the sun began to set. A group of elders, draped in vibrant traditional attire, sat under the massive baobab tree. They listened intently as a wise old storyteller, Chief Ikon, recounted a tale of love and sacrifice. His voice was rich with emotion, and his words carried the weight of generations before him. Love, he said, is not just the connection between two hearts, it is the foundation on which a family stands strong, even when the world shakes beneath them. As the story unfolded, a young couple, Chief Ikon's daughter Adana and her husband, stood apart from the gathering. Their hands were entwined, and their eyes locked in a gaze that spoke volumes. Adana's laughter filled the air as she listened to her husband's quiet whispers, and the love between them was palpable. They weren't just partners in life, they were the embodiment of the lessons the elders spoke of, two hearts united by a promise to raise a family grounded in the same principles of love and respect. Nearby, their two young children, Chidi and Ada, peeked from behind the thick leaves of a mango tree. They had spent the entire evening observing the adults, their curiosity piqued by the way their parents exchanged gentle glances and soft gestures. Their innocent eyes were wide with wonder, yet tinged with confusion. They didn't quite understand everything that had been said, but they knew one thing for sure: there was something magical about the way their parents looked at each other. "Why do they look at each other like that?" Chidi whispered, tugging at his sister's sleeve. Ada's wide eyes glimmered as she peered through the branches. "I don't know. It's like they're talking without words." Chidi, always the playful one, began to mimic his parents. He turned to Ada and gently touched her cheek, just like he had seen his father do to their mother. "Like this?" he asked with a mischievous grin. Ada giggled, delighted by the imitation. "Yes, just like that." As they played under the mango tree, their laughter filled the air, and for a brief moment, they forgot about the world around them. They were simply children, learning from the best example they had, those who had taught them love not through lectures but through the simple, everyday gestures of affection and care. Later that night, as the stars began to blanket the sky, Chief Ikon and Adana sat with their children on a mat outside their humble home. The flickering light of a small fire cast shadows on their faces as they explained the meaning of love. Chief Ikon's voice was soft yet firm as he spoke. "Love is not just about words, my children. It is in the way you care for one another, in the way you protect each other, and in the way you stand by one another when the world is dark. It is your anchor." Adana, her gaze tender, added, "Love is patience. It's understanding the needs of the other even when they can't speak them aloud. It's sacrifice, and it's always choosing to lift each other up." Chidi and Ada listened intently, their young faces reflecting a mix of wonder and understanding. They had seen the love their parents shared, but now they were beginning to grasp its deeper meaning, the unspoken bond that tied their family together in ways words could never fully explain. Years passed, and Chidi and Ada grew older. Life, as it does, presented its challenges. Yet, the lessons of love and commitment their parents had instilled in them remained their guiding light. One day, the siblings sat together under the same mango tree where they had once played and imitated their parents. Time had changed them, but the love their parents had shown them had shaped their very beings. As they sat side by side, reminiscing about the lessons they had learned, Chidi spoke first. "Do you remember when we used to mimic them? Touching cheeks, laughing like them. We didn't know then, but we were learning. Ada nodded, her voice filled with warmth. We were learning how to love. How to build something strong, like they did. They both sat in silence for a moment, reflecting on the power of their parents' love. It wasn't just the big moments that had shaped them, but the quiet, everyday acts of kindness, understanding, and patience. Their parents had taught them that love wasn't a grand gesture, it was the little things, done every day, that built a legacy. As the sun dipped below the horizon, Chidi turned to Ada with a smile. We are ready, aren't we? To build the same kind of love. The kind that never breaks. Ada smiled back, her eyes filled with gratitude and certainty. We are. We are ready to carry it forward. And so, under the shade of the mango tree, the legacy of love continued. The lessons passed down from one generation to the next were not just stories, they were the heartbeat of a family that would carry them forward, forever.